Alright, this is some progress here of the fedge. Got some sumac trees going down there now. The roses are getting bigger. Got all kinds of good stuff in the living mulch layer here. And here's the medley of things. The peach tree is getting massive this year. This pumpkin obviously found some fertility somewhere because it's just taking over the whole area. So is the comfrey. Got some of the perennial flowers mixtures coming up. Got a bunch of marigolds that'll be blooming, a giant variety.
Our tomatoes are doing well here in the
Yeah.
Shires. There's 3 tomatoes there.
And a grape seems like it wants to help them.
Actually, I think it was helping.
Yeah, we'll have to tie that to the other branch or the other piece I cut now. But grape was gonna take over. Okay. Fairy garden goodness. Got some more stuff. Let's see. Plants that need to go in the ground. Some blueberries and some locust skullcap with some groundnut on it looks like.
Yes. Yes. Very cool.
If that is.
Yes, that is.
Okay, the worm bin is down for maintenance here. That's the individual pieces. I need to drain the bottom and try to get the worms out of the bottom layer to replace it. And then use it for worm casting. Oh yeah, celery's doing good. Okay. Cool stuff that came up where we didn't mow. Some yarrow and some other stuff. Chestnut trees are overwhelmed with blossoms. Bee balm's doing really good. Got some Romanesco broccoli here that's a little too, maybe a little too shaded. Here's the stuff that's in a really premium spot we found for broccoli. This stuff should be heading up sometime soon. This is the new leash. Yeah.
There's some crookneck squash in the back. And one pumpkin got accidentally stuck back in there too. So it's climbing up to the deck.
And most of these flowers are radishes, and of course you have the radish seed pods, aka rat tails, which are delicious and you can pickle, and we're pickling massive amounts of them. You have all the medicinals in here like echinacea, and other companion plants, different varieties of squashes.
Check out these guys. We just pulled these this morning. There's some turnips that were
Yeah, just some small turnips.
in with the...
This whole area here is very similar to the rest of the veg. This elderberry is getting a lot bigger. These pepper plants are doing really, really well. And they're polycultured with nasturtiums and petunias and a couple different varieties of purslane. And this huge variety here is actually a cultivated variety versus like the smaller wild stuff that you usually get that we planted on purpose here. And then this is these are zinnias and cucumbers. It's like pollinating insect heaven right here. Alright, we'll go to the elderberry, which is overloaded with berries. This is the big one. Have some daylilies, some wild geranium, more radishes popping up everywhere, more turnips.
Wildflowers.
Got some small blueberries here that will do better after we prune back these branches on this tree.
We got a phlox that came up.
You know, it's phlox, and then we have this awesome red yarrow, some bee balm that just kind of randomly popped up there, asparagus, and flower.
Here's some more skullcap.
Yeah, more skullcap,
It'll get a beautiful blue flower on these.
and here's some groundnut that we planted this year, and it is starting to flower. Pretty cool. Hopefully it goes to seed, which is kind of rare for the varieties around here. They never really go to seed because of the growing season so short. But there's some skullcap. You can see it's in flower. And it's just an excellent medicinal plant there. And there's some asparagus gone to seed. All sorts of random perennials in here.
Fuchsia echinacea
Yeah,
that a friend had given me. Buckwheat.
yep. And this little experiment's doing really well. Groundnut with sweet potato, and then we have some peppers around it. And this zucchini is now starting to be productive. First zucchini off this plant. Of course, some more random lamb's quarters. We just cut a huge bunch and gave to Karen's friend yesterday, and we missed this one. It's just everywhere. Okay. I guess we'll go to this intensive bed here. Intensive tomato bed. They are loaded. We've been pruning away anything that looked like blight. I think we're going to get a good harvest. We have some that are getting blossom end rot, and I plan to do a foliar feeding with some worm tea, some crushed up Tums.
And down here, if you look, our carrots are doing very well in the planters.
And some powdered milk. Okay, and here is some cantaloupe. First year for us trying to grow cantaloupe, and we're starting to have some type of success with it. Watch where you step. There's one right there you're stepping on. Our grapes are surviving.
Some beans are in with the grapes and
Yeah,
other stuff. It's really heavily
this is
vegetated
polyculture.
right now.
All right, so this is the broccoli, and it has gone mad. We have heads to harvest now. This will keep us in. We can have like a dish that's heavy in broccoli every day and still have some to freeze. Basically, if you're not familiar, you cut the first head of the main stalk, and then it starts sprouting all these side heads here. And this one's ready. So these side shoots are just never ending as long as you can keep it from bolting, and that has a lot to do with the temperature of the root zone. And that's something that we figured out, and we can pretty much
Here's a
keep them
nice
all
head
year.
Here, the beginning starter head.
Yeah, that you'd cut that head, and then you get all these side shoots ripe in about a week. Beans, some companion plants in there.
The lettuce is pretty much going to go to seed at
Yeah,
this
and
point.
some of this lettuce has gone to seed, as you can see here.
We have some Swiss chard still through
Yep,
there.
chard.
Collards, turnips.
And kale, some kale here. And some tomatoes there and some beans. And the peppers didn't really do real good there this year, but here's the herb spiral. There's just all kinds of different herbs here.
Parsley, Thai basil, regular basil,
Yeah.
thyme, fennel, dill, rue, sage, oregano.
And of course the obligatory lamb's quarters. Okay. All right. That brings us to this vein on the leaf design here. And we got all kinds of squashes and sunflowers and peas, very productive peas that are still full swing. We got cucumbers. We're having a cucumber beetle problem. We are going to get some cracked corn and throw it around here. We have 2 roosters loose to take care of it. They should do that as soon as they realize they're here. Just kind of have to help them find stuff because there's so much to eat in this yard. They could be well fed and never make it over here.
Oh, look at this sunflower. It did bloom.
Awesome. You know, we just need to zip tie that to the fence.
Yeah.
And then we have borage. And the kids' peanut garden is surviving. I don't know how well it's doing. I've never grown peanuts before. But it also has some purslane in it, so that's pretty cool. And chickens. We had tons of black raspberries. They're about done now. Our blueberry bushes are still pretty loaded with blueberries. I mean, we can't even make a dent picking them with the amount of time we have to spend. Got the back fence line here, peas, lots of mint that is spreading and trying to take over the world. More peas.
These are almost about done.
Yeah.
But we got lots to.
Yeah, we have lots to pick. It appears the Japanese beetles like our Nanking cherries.
So we'll have to plant some lupines in next year
Mhm.
to this area.
And our, yikes, gooseberry got bigger this year. And of course these currants, I weeded some grass out from them and gave them a little bit of a boost. They're going to probably be transplanted into our currant hedge. We'll just go quick right now to the intensive beds. Let's give a quick rundown since we didn't do this before. We've got the 3 sisters, the corn, beans, and squash.
Never got to add the 4th sister, which is clover.
Yeah. But we did exclusion mulching here. So, I mean, that's almost as good. Be beneficial to have the clover growing through that, though, because you get the benefits of both things. We got potatoes, along with some volunteer radishes and stuff. We leave them go. We got some Romanian hardneck garlic, hot garlic that we got from the Mother Earth News Fair. Trying to propagate that.
Sunflowers with beets and turnips.
Yeah, that didn't do very well. We over-mulched them once we planted. All right, but these are our sun-choked beds. These are sun-choked peas, just a mix of other good animal feed crops. The deer, this is a good decoy for the deer. They eat it, and we don't have that much grazing on our other plants because of it. Here's another sun-choked patch up here that we actually got a lot of the tubers to use to plant the other beds with. It's been growing each year. Here's another 3 sisters bed.
This one's with butternut squash and volunteer potatoes from the previous year.
Yeah. You can see you could use a little nitrogen. These weren't amended that well out of necessity. This is the lazy potato bed. This is a no-dig potato bed, and they are starting to really thrive. There's some other potato beds. This one right there. There's a lot of borage in it, and there's some sweet potatoes also.
And asters are coming up through
Yeah.
there.
We got some type of squash. I have no idea at this point. More potatoes, lots of potatoes, 3 or 4 varieties.
And we did have the one bed that has some sweet potatoes, the one that has
Yeah.
the gorge in it.
And there's more potatoes. We did a straw mulch, and of course you get a lot of oats popping up. But you can always pull those and feed them to animals, so that's not really an issue. All right, that's the Zone 2 garden beds there, and you can see in the background there's a huge sunflower that was just a volunteer. Over in that bunch of brush, that's actually a huge red raspberry patch. There's all kinds of milkweed and echinacea and other good things growing throughout that whole section as well.